Hello, guys. Welcome back to S3D. And yes, it appears that I kind of have developed a compulsive buying disorder. Um, this is actually really interesting. Ever since I came back to start doing my YouTube related content, I feel like I'm kickstarting my obsessive compulsive disorder and also developing new disorders. Now, this is actually really interesting. I've been observing myself for the last 3 weeks. Ever since I sold off a large portion of my collection, people on Discord say I just have money burning a hole in my pocket, right? And I'm preaching about people should be saving money for emergencies, and I'm out there. Sometimes I do right here in the morning and the afternoon. Right now, the real estate market is just kind of it's been a really bad year for the real estate market. So, I kind of supplement my income doing other gig related jobs and stuff like that. But what's really interesting is I find myself spending a lot more time uh, at retail stores. I actually kind of put a break. Uh, I stepped on a break about like 2 or 3 weeks ago, because some people are really upset about a lot of the discounted prices that I'm showing. And also, I've been going to retail stores a lot. I make excuses for myself, either to get food at those stores, which I tend to avoid, in the last uh, year and a half where I, just stopped uh, doing toy related content. And you know what? I was reflecting back on, stuff that I was buying, even though I was away. I feel like a lot of that is just compulsive buying. I was buying stuff, I was obsessing over the stuff. And once I actually pay for the stuff and I got the stuff in the mail, like the feeling of like, my desire for the stuff, like just reset itself. Like I'm going back to obsessing about the new thing I want to buy. Seems like I'm not even getting the real enjoyment out of the stuff I'm buying. I have these piles and piles of Robot Spirits figure for about a year and a half. And, just a couple of weeks ago, I decided to let them go. I didn't even have any feelings toward that. So it's actually a very interesting experience to reflect on these issues. It just seems like, at some point in my life, I developed this compulsive buying disorder that hits all the check marks on this this uh, disorder, checklist, and it's actually very eye opening. I definitely need to address this issue. Uh, basically, what they're saying is like I am buying a lot of things and obsessing over a lot of unnecessary stuff and really not getting any real use out of it, right? Yeah, believe it or not, I'm not the only person who have this issue. Like I did a video yesterday. A lot of people I associate with talk about this on Discord. Someone actually even brought it up in a recent live stream. There was like over 70 people on the live stream, and we were someone talking about this disorder. And yeah, it is very disturbing. Apparently, someone, a random person, ended up getting divorced because he could not getting, put a, put the brakes on this disorder, and he really got out of hand. Now, we're not saying like they're just randomly buying like $5 to $10 toys. This guy has like a compulsive disorder with like more expensive stuff. And sometimes I can understand that you're buying like a 30, $40,000 toy. That could really trigger your significant other. Yeah, it's definitely is a compulsive disorder. These things, if you don't pay attention to it, the thing I understand about people with these type of issue is the compulsion. It is so strong, like it overrides all your logic. At least for me, when I'm thinking about this thing, I understand there's a problem, but then I make excuses and I just dance around the problem, and it doesn't really matter who's telling me how messed up this issue is. Like I would just completely ignore it, and then I'm gonna find like other people to help either deflect the issue or enable me to continue to practice these messed up disorders. That's how it is. I would use my YouTube channel as an excuse to continue to be buying these unnecessary goods. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm using it to do content, or I'm using this because I need to do more customs. Now, sometimes that's like a half truth, but a lot of times it's just I'm using excuses to continue to buy more shenanigans. Yeah, it really does suck. But now that I realize, this addiction, I'm most likely uh, gonna probably spend more time on how to address it. Now, the good news is I haven't really even spent a lot of my money that I made selling off a large portion of my collection. I'm probably just gonna save that because, as I said, when it comes to my really bad collecting habits, uh, it actually does just hit all the check marks. I obsess over the item. I spend a lot of time buying the item, and once it's in the pile is the pile. Sometimes it matters, sometimes it don't matter. I rarely spend like more than an hour with a figure, no matter how much I tell my viewers I enjoy it. And I feel like that's a lot. There's a lot of bullshit there. That's not being genuine. That's just me, like, making excuses for my disorder. Yeah, and this sucks. It really does suck. And, I feel like if I can be honest about this, I can, tackle this issue at some point. Hopefully soon. That's my idea. Uh, Really, in the last couple weeks, I have actually, I'm in this process where I kind of don't know what I want to collect. So I'm like looking at every freaking thing. I'm looking at like three zero figures and, random ass shit. Uh, I actually bought a whole bunch of stuff from retail and discount. I bought a G.I. Joe classified figure. I bought the Viper 3 pack. But then I decided, you know what? Probably should stop myself before I get myself too deep in uh, shenanigans, right? Good thing I got rid of all of them. I did a review on the Duke and Ram cycle, and I got rid of it. The Viper 3 packs I actually traded away immediately to my comic shop for credit, and I'm getting more credit for that. And I'm buying the Gundam Alex with the credit. But I feel like that was a really stupid move because that figure was riddled with QC problems. So I got rid of that too. I got the Spartan Collection figure, But the funny thing is with the Spartan Collection figure, the before I quit collecting the Spartan Collection figure, if you guys watch all the reviews on my channel about the Spartan Collection figure, yeah, I have very, very bad opinion about those figures. They all have been getting really low reviews in the past, right? I wanted a Master Chief in my collection, but the more I look at it, the more I realize, this is just not gonna work out. At some point, eventually, at some point, I'm gonna have like 10 of these figures that I'm never gonna touch because I really didn't care about them enough in the first place to get them. And even though they're cheap, it's just it's like it's probably going to be at least like $30 to $40 worth of stuff that's sitting there, not doing anything. So I got rid of that too. So I am kind of self-correcting some of my issues. But now that I realize, this compulsive disorder, this is kind of related to OCD, and I know a lot of depressed people also use this as a method to deal with their depression, as therapy. But, none of this stuff actually replace real therapy. In fact, this is actually more destructive. This is some of the most destructive form of self therapy. But yeah, a lot of people don't realize this. And, now that I realize it, like I said before, I need to address this issue like quickly because I have money saved up, and I don't want to waste that money on like unnecessary things. Some people told me I just need to really figure out what I want to collect and then just go with there. I did talk about doing the master grades and the metal builds, and I'm gonna pace myself with those. I think we'll just deal with that for now. Like the custom stuff, I'm gonna continue to do, but I think it's probably like most healthy. I just stick to one thing, something that I, you know, have a little bit more interest in. That really doesn't cost an arm and a leg. I think Master Grade for now is okay because I actually built the two that I got. I'm not like hoarding boxes of unbuilt model kits anyway. And with the metal build, uh, we'll just pretend like the metal build is shenanigans. I know I just did a video talking about 3.0 stuff. Yeah, that's probably not gonna happen because I feel like I understand my relationship with these high-end collectibles figure too. Uh, it's exactly the same situation I talked about before. I obsess over them. I spend a lot of time researching them, and once I get it, it doesn't matter if it sits in the box for like 20 years. It's there are people who collect these high-end collectibles like hot toys, and these things, and just leave them in the box, like in the closet, for like 20 years, and just I had that. I spent like $500 on that, but yeah, whatever. Anyway, I think that's pretty much it. So a good thing I realized about this issue. Thank you, someone, for bringing it up on Discord. And yeah, it's a real problem, and it definitely need to be stopped. I actually delete my Amazon app because I feel like a lot of the supplies I'm getting from Amazon for the customs isn't really up to standard, and there's so much temptation on Amazon Prime. I'm just like looking at every item that's like super cheap on sale, like the 3.0 Ranger Slayer, and every day I'm like either obsessing about buying it or obsessing about hating it. So that way I don't have to buy it. It's freaking ridiculous. But anyway, let me know if you guys share this very unhealthy habit or you never realized about this issue until I brought it up. And maybe, we can do something to address this together. Knowing your issues, being able to admit your issues, is actually the first step, to correcting it. These are not easy things to correct because when it comes to like compulsive disorder, this is actually really, really strong. These things like bypass logic, and it's a very, very selfish thing, but it is also very powerful. Like most people uh, probably will not have the willpower to be able to control these things on their own without some sort of outside influence or help from therapy and stuff like that. Thanks for watching, guys.